And a very good morning to you. 6 minutes past 7. I hope you're very well. Sunday morning. And I don't know whether you've seen this ad or not. Now, I know that we can all get reeled in by these Christmas ads. I mean, if you look at the amount of views they have on probably our website, lbc.co.uk, and YouTube and all the other ways that you can post online through Twitter and various others, they get to win if we're getting to talk about them. But we're going to give it an hour because this is quite interesting yesterday. I noted myself noting when I saw the advert that there was every shade, every colour, every height, every conceivable sex, etc., every scenario. It was all in this ad. This is what they are. It was nice. I thought it was a decent ad. This is the Tesco ad we're talking about. But some people were offended that there was a Muslim family in the Christmas ad. They don't celebrate Christmas. And so I went back and I looked at listen to this, right? 3 seconds where this family greet each other in the hallway of a house, and there's a plastic bag upon which it says, everyone welcome. That's what it says. It doesn't say Happy Christmas. See, that's the finite detail I was going into. It just says everyone welcome on a Tesco bag. 3 seconds, a greeting in a hallway, but listen to it, they were wearing headscarves. And I just knew it. You go on Twitter, when that's my fault, you go on Twitter and you have a look at it, and there's backlash, maybe too strong a word. But, I mean, what are we looking for here, folks? I mean, is anybody really offended by this? Could I ask you the question, is this proof of an anti-Muslim rhetoric still being present in our country, despite attempts to integrate? And what is the actual law around comments off the back of an ad like this? So 345 6060 973. Let's talk about this now to Hassan Ahmadi, Regional President of the London Ahmadiyya Muslim Association, and Martin Campbell is with us as well, Media Advisor for Media Objectives and a former Chief Advisor to Ofcom. Let me start with you, Hassan. I'll say good morning to you. You've seen the advert. What did you think of it?
Good morning, Andrew. Thank you for inviting me. I thought the advert was very good, and I shared the observations that you just told the viewers as well.
Okay,
and
good.
I think you're spot on. It's showing British as a multicultural, forward-thinking communities, and Muslims are part of that community. I think one thing you missed out on possibly is that immediately after the Muslim family, there was a Sikh family as well, celebrating Christmas and breaking crackers and all.
Terrible stuff. I said, shocking.
No one picked that up. But they picked on the Muslim family. So I think your concerns about Islamophobia could be right. But I think the case for the Muslims is damned if they do and damned if they don't sometimes, I think.
Yes, it does seem that way. Martin Campbell, Media Advisor for Media Objectives, a former Chief Advisor to Ofcom. Well, did you like the ad? Did you think the ad was effective, Martin? Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Well, personally, I think Tesco should be hauled over the coals for putting out a Christmas advert in November anyway, whatever it's got in it.
Start the morning by being a miserable old goat. I like that, Martin. Quite right. I'm with you.
That's right. Yeah, it is early. I mean, some people have said, is it a publicity stunt? And you're right, as you said in your opening, that people get to talk about it. I doubt that the original advert was a publicity stunt. I mean, I'm sure that they were trying to go for the sort of inclusivity that all companies are told to try and achieve. And as a colleague says, they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. I'm not so sure about the backlash. I mean, all publicity and all that. I mean, I don't know how many people are really objecting to this. I think if there is widespread unease with it, Andrew, it's got probably more to do with social media managing to highlight things that people simply might not agree with or might not like, and just elevate them to a status of sort of widespread offence and so on.
Yes, I think that's probably right. Let's get stuck into what really is the issue here, which is questions about integration in this country. It's questions about people just getting on and letting other people live. You can talk about the rise in hate crime. I was listening to Cressida Dick, the Met Commissioner, talking about this in Parliament the other day at a select committee. Obviously people are very sensitive around this issue. Are we just too sensitive, Martin? Are we required to tiptoe around these issues too much, in your view?
Well, I mean, I think putting the regulator's hat on, I think there is clear evidence that people are oversensitive because of the atmosphere created, really by the media as well, say by elevating all the sort of social media comments this way, because, I mean, you know, it's an advert. And people do things in adverts that they don't do in real life anyway. They walk through walls, they jump to the moon, and all this sort of thing. You know, I'm not so sure that if there have been complaints to Ofcom, Ofcom these days tend to share responsibility with the ASA, the Advertising Standards Authority here. I very much doubt if they look at what they are legislated to look at as far as adverts are concerned. I very much doubt if they would conclude that the rules have been broken here.
I think, Andrew, if I can add in something here, that on the social media, Martin is very, very right in saying that the social media are probably playing this up. And I think on the Mail readers, the Daily Mail readers, a lot of them commented against this advert. As one comment said later, that's the only thing that the Mail readers hate more than a Muslim not to integrate British culture is a Muslim integrating into British culture. So, you know, they got to realize that Islam actually recognizes Jesus as a prophet of God. And very few Christians today actually practice Christmas as a religious festival. So sharing part of Christmas festivities without the religious aspect of it, there's nothing wrong in that. And we're showing a positive forward moving Britain, and I think that's what Britain should be proud of.
You know, I'll give you an example of the sort of stuff that's coming off Twitter. If you just stick Tesco ad in there, you get all the feedback from certain people. So there's, I don't know, some bloke called Jack here. He says, well, you know, Tesco ad features a Sikh, two gay dads, and even a group of Muslim hijabs in its Christmas ad. Not a dog collar or a nativity scene in sight. Do you know what I think it is? I mean, if I could be so bold, Ahsan, I think it's we're sick and tired of being preached to. I think some people are sick and tired of being preached to. This message thrown in their face, even on a Christmas ad in the UK. Exactly what this bloke has just said. And you can call that prejudice if you like, but does he have a point?
I think the point that he's making, I think in the past where we've had certain councils banning Christmas lights, etc., because some people might be offended.
That's right.
I think that's the cause behind it, and I think they were wrong. I think, you know, Christmas is a Britain festival which should be celebrated by the Brits, by the Christians who celebrate Christmas, and it should be a joyous day. But, you know, then again, when Eid comes, when Diwali comes, when all the other festivals come, Britain takes it on board. In my community here, all three festivals are celebrated with good pomp, you know, and we shared all of that. I think that's the way forward. Let's do everyone should share the joys of everyone.
So you're trying to nick all the good stuff about our Christmas festival, Ahsan?
Listen, Christmas has some great values. It's a holiday period for us as Muslims. We as a family get together. We will sometimes have turkey, sometimes have chicken, sometimes have a biryani, depending on what we feel on that day. But it's a festival of getting together of a family, and that's what we do, and that's the message of Christmas, isn't it? It's of love for all and peace for all, and that's what the Ahmadiyya Muslim community certainly promotes. And, you know, the Quran talks of Jesus in a very positive light. Even there's a chapter called Maryam, after the mother of Jesus, Mary. So this is how we look at Jesus. So we will remember Jesus in Christmas, but about his life and the way he conducted himself, not necessarily drinking and all that other part of...
No. Ahsan, it's good talking to you this morning. Ahsan Ahmed, it sounds like a good house to be at Christmas, I have to be honest.
You're most welcome to join us.
That biryani on Christmas would be super, and it would stay good for days.
Thank you for joining for Christmas.
Cheers, mate. That's my Christmas sorted out. Thank you very much. Martin Campbell, if I could just finish with you here. I mean, you know, Ahsan's talking about what Christmas is all about, getting together, family, eating, and all the rest of it, and sharing a holiday. For the adverts, it's also about, getting people to spend their money so that their clients do very well. I mean, they'll be loving all this, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they will be loving it, because I think they will say, I mean, let me tell you, Andrew, if I was now back at Ofcom sitting around and looking at this and the word complaints, one of the things I would look at this ad and say, well, look, is Tesco depicting a family or is it depicting a religion? You know, if it's depicting a religion, then is it ridiculing the religion? Is it showing disrespect? Is it harming cultural standards and so on? And I think that, you know, once you put it through the complaints tube and out the other end, they'll say, well, there is no ridicule. All the guidance centres on whether there is sensitivity used and whether respect is shown to religion. And I think on that basis it's unlikely to be regarded as having broken any code. But as you well know, as soon as you bring religion into any aspect of the media, you are in trouble.
Indeed,
As Juan says, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Yeah, or a head covering or anything like that. As soon as you have it, some people's heckles go up. Should we just dismiss them and just show them the exit? There's just no room for it. Martin, thank you very much indeed. That's Martin Campbell.